Hey everyone, welcome to Cooking with Taz. In this video, I'm going to show you guys how to make a very popular Middle Eastern and Mediterranean pastry dessert. So it's going to be baklava. It's a layered pastry dessert that's made with Phyllo Pastry dough. So we have to smear the Phyllo Pastry with melted butter and layer it with chopped nuts and then bake in the oven till golden and crispy. After that, we have to soak it in sugar honey syrup. It's an absolutely heavenly and delicious pastry dessert. So if you have the store-bought Phyllo pastry, it's a breeze to make this baklava. So guys, let's make this heavenly and delicious baklava. Before starting to make baklava, the very first step we have to do is to thaw the phyllo dough or phyllo pastry. So take it out of the freezer and keep it in the refrigerator and let it thaw overnight, or keep it over countertop for 4 to 5 hours till it has thawed well. So I have thawed the phyllo dough in the refrigerator overnight. The next step is to melt the butter. So we need at least 1 cup melted butter. So I'm adding butter to a saucepan and I'm going to melt the butter over stove top, and this is unsalted butter. If you want, you can melt the butter in the microwave. So place the saucepan over medium heat and let the butter melt completely. Here's the melted butter, so perfect. For making this baklava, I'll be using a 8-inch square pan. So this will make 12 baklavas. If you want to make more baklavas, you can use a large pan or a sheet pan. So generously spread the butter onto the pan bottom and the sides of the pan. Here is the thawed phyllo dough or phyllo pastry. So I have thawed it in the refrigerator overnight. So when you thaw it in the refrigerator, keep it along with the parchment paper. So this is paper thin, so be very gentle while handling the phyllo dough. So the phyllo dough, this is like really long and super thin sheets. There are around 18 sheets. So I'm going to keep it parallel to the pan that I'm using, and I'm going to cut the sheet because I don't need the entire sheet. This is based on the size of the pan that we are using. So I'm going to cut it. I'm going to expand the phyllo sheets. So this is still large, so I'm going to cut it further. So I'm going to place the pan over the sheets, and based on the size of the pan, I'm going to cut it. So I want a square shape. So I'm going to cut using a sharp knife. Let's preheat the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 175 degrees Celsius. If you're making baklava in a large pan, you might have to use the entire phyllo dough. So I'm only making this in an 8-inch square pan. So I have cut the phyllo dough into square shapes. So let's place the first sheet. It's a bit torn apart, that's okay. We'll fix it with a melted butter. So place one more phyllo dough. After placing 2 phyllo sheets, I'm going to spread melted butter over the sheet. So we don't have to spread butter over every sheet. After placing 2 sheets, we can spread the butter. So generously spread melted butter over the second sheet. Again, I'm going to layer this with 2 more phyllo sheets. And spread melted butter over the 4th sheet. So keep doing this. Again, I'm going to layer with 2 more phyllo pastry or phyllo sheets. As you can see, I'm not spreading melted butter over each sheet. I'm placing 2 sheets together and then spreading the melted butter. So we need to make total 8 sheets. So this is the 8th sheet, so I'm spreading melted butter over it. On top of the 8th sheet, I'm going to spread crushed pistachios, around 3 tablespoons. I'm going to also add some crushed pecans. If you prefer, you can just add pistachios. So here I'm using both pecans and pistachios. So I have generously spread pistachios and pecans. So next, let's make the second set of phyllo dough. So on top of this, I'm going to place 2 more phyllo dough or phyllo sheets. Spread with melted butter. So I'm going to repeat this 3 more times till I have 8 phyllo sheets. So in total, we will have 16 phyllo sheets. Alright guys, so this is the last layer. So I have spread with melted butter. Next, using a sharp knife, I'm going to cut into square shaped pieces, either square shape or diamond shapes. So use a sharp knife, otherwise it will be very difficult, and be very gentle. So I have cut into square shapes, so there are 12 pieces. The oven has preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 175 degrees Celsius. So let's keep the cake pan on the middle rack and let's bake this for 40 minutes. In the meantime, let's make the sugar honey syrup. So into a saucepan, I'm adding 3/4 cup white sugar and adding 1 cup water. So place the saucepan over medium heat and let the sugar completely dissolve in water. So this will take a few minutes. Combine well using a silicone spatula and ensure the sugar has dissolved completely. After the sugar has dissolved, I'm going to add 1 teaspoon orange blossom water. So this is optional. This has a bit intense fragrance. So if you don't like the fragrance, you can skip it. So don't add too much. It will be overpowering. So give it a mix. Next, I'm going to add 1/4 cup honey. This is based on your sweet level. You can add up to 1/2 cup. So this is pure honey. So combine well. So the sugar, honey, everything has dissolved in water. So let's lower the heat and let it simmer for 20 minutes. I'm peeping through the oven window, so the baklava is turning flaky, and over here honey sugar syrup is ready, so it has thickened. So remove the saucepan from the heat and let it cool down slightly for like 5 minutes. So after the honey sugar syrup has cooled down, I'm adding like 2 tablespoons freshly squeezed lemon juice. Give it a good mix. So our sugar honey syrup is ready here. It's been 40 minutes. Our baklava is ready. So take it out of the oven and look at this. It has turned flaky and crispy with a beautiful golden brown color. Immediately pour the honey sugar syrup over the baked baklava. So we don't have to wait till the baklava cools down. So we have to pour the syrup right away when it's still hot. Let this cool down completely for at least 2 to 3 hours. So let the baklava soak in the syrup. That's when it will taste delicious. I know it's so tempting to take a bite of this. So after a few hours, this has cooled down. So it's time to serve and I cannot wait to dig in. So this is very crispy. The phyllo pastry has turned super crispy. So be very gentle when you take it out of the pan. So when you take the first piece, it gets easier to take other pieces. Alright, so I got it. So taking that first piece out of the pan and placing it on a plate. After taking out the first piece, I'm using a tongue. It's much easier to lift the baklava using a tongue. So place it on a plate. So we have total 12 pieces. This is good for 4 people. So if you want to make more, you can use a large cake pan. Before serving, yes, we need to top the baklava with the crushed pistachios. So this will give that nice crunch and will make the baklava taste even more delicious. I have to click some pictures of these beauties for my blog post. So I placed everything on the backyard table. So I'm going on a clicking spree. Look at these. They look stunning and it's absolutely delicious. Here you have it, guys, decadent and flaky pastry dessert baklava. So it's so easy to make. All we need is Phyllo pastry dough. So guys, do give this easy recipe a try and let me know your feedback. If you have enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'll be back with more cooking videos. Until then, happy cooking, take care and bye.